Welcome to Traumedy, the podcast that helps you cope with trauma using comedy. Learn from stand-up comedians how to take your pain and play with it. I am Nancy Norton. I'm your host. I'm a comedian and I'm studying therapeutic humor. I'm not an expert yet, but I'm getting there. I have a lot of experience because I have been through a lot of stuff. Traumedy is not a replacement for trauma therapy, but it will get you by between sessions. Don't get stuck. Let those feelings move. No matter what, keep laughing. Get that stuck energy out of your body because that's not good for you. On this week's episode, we're going to talk about public humiliation and codependency. This is episode 5 with Bryan Kellen, recorded in the Greenroom at Comedy Works South. While we're recording, the show is going on, and the headliner this week is Ben Roy. And if you don't know Ben Roy, he loves yelling. His act has a lot of energy, huge laughs, so you're going to hear a lot of sounds in the background. I apologize for that. We just wanted to get this recorded while we had the opportunity. And so, yeah, this is what it's like to be in the green room having a conversation when Ben Roy is crushing on stage. Welcome to Traumedy. I'm your host, Nancy Norton, with our guest, Bryan Kellen.
Thank you very much.
Phenomenal comedian.
God bless you.
I've been a fan of yours for a long time. I was always so flattered when anyone would go, "You're kind of like a female Bryan Kellen."
Oh my gosh!
Which was it flattered me because you are like a human cartoon.
We are like human cartoons. I think there's that.
You've taken it to the next level.
But the problem is, like you said, I mean, you get a little old. You get a little older, and I shot one of those open bar specials as you did. Oh, yeah. No, dry bar, excuse me. Open bar is a totally different thing. We talked about that earlier. But when I did my dry bar, they said, just do some old hits. Do like the old stuff that you did. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to do that. But hey, I wrote those jokes like 20 years ago. And I don't know if my heart can take it. I mean, that's a lot of work.
Man, because you do that Running Man dance and it's amazing. You have to go to the gym a lot?
It's funny. I know I talked to you about this before, but my manager always wanted to do a show called Laughercise. And the idea behind that was the stuff I did on stage, my bits. Because I used to tell people, they go, "How do you stay in shape?" Well, I do my act 300 times a year. So we actually filmed it. It's online somewhere. We shot it, and it people just didn't realize it was a joke. I think they thought it was serious. You know what I mean? And we did it very straight. And I think the people who did it were so great. And they did the Running Man, they did like the grind dance, and they did all this stuff, and it looked.
I'm gonna look for that. Oh, you think it's on YouTube or something?
Oh yeah, it is for sure.
Okay, Bryan, we spell your name Bryan.
Correct.
Kellen.
Correct.
Bryan Kellen, and then they can also. I want people to go see you because you can't. I can't describe it. Okay. No, but so where do they see you? Where's the best place to go see your comedy online?
I would go to YouTube. And just look up Bryan Kellen on YouTube is probably a good thing. There's some good, there's some bad. I had quite a run at America's Got Talent. That was the only thing I'm really not proud of that's online of me, but that's
they used you
a gajillion.
That hurts my
views.
It hurts my heart so much that they exploited you like that. Like they made you look bad, right? Was it taking things out of context?
Well, I have to admit I was bad. I was not good. It was 90 seconds, and I didn't put a 90-second set together very well at all, and I was overthinking it. And you know how you do that when you're thinking, okay, because when the producers call you, they called me and they said, we saw you on Last Comic Standing. We thought you're great. We think you'll do great in the show. We want you to do this. So they called me. So I was like flattered, but I, as comics, and you're great at them. You won big contest, but as a comedian, I can't stand contests.
Oh no, I was a choker it took me 30 years to give myself permission to do well in a competition. Like I was 39th of 40 in the San Francisco comedy competition in 1995 or something. Like, I mean, I had friends going, I think you're going to win this. And I went out there and was literally like 39th out of 40. I sucked so bad because I wanted it so much and I choked and I called myself a choker instead of a joker.
Well, that's hilarious. But look what happens. You win the
30 years later.
Boston Comedy Festival, Seattle International Comedy. Those are two huge competitions. So, but I don't like them. I mean, I've done okay in them, but nobody likes competitions. And
it's so weird.
Televised ones like the America's AGT was like,
man, that's a lot on the line. It's a lot. I auditioned for them and they passed, and I have to say I was a little relieved because I don't want to be the person that you don't even know. I'm still wondering, like, was it a setup? Because the I don't know.
Well,
it's weird to have that out there, but I guess it's got, like, if you need to get humbled, there it is.
Oh boy, let me tell you. Well, see, when it went down, I definitely made a mistake because you overthink it because I'm thinking, okay, this 90 seconds, I gotta have like 8 sets. You know what I mean? So I'm putting these sets together, and you want the money in there. And I go, okay, if I just get started, I can save a good joke if I just kind of lean into this, just elongate a joke early. And it didn't work. And I lost them right like the first 10 seconds. Yeah. And then I tried to, and then I got gonged or buzzed or whatever they call it. It was horrible.
We're dating ourselves with the gong show.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was to me. I mean, Simon himself gonged me.
Oh, ouch. Do you still have trauma from that sound?
Oh, well, yeah, I do. But it was one of those things. It was. I don't want to get. I mean, I'm going to take over this whole time, but this story was just horrible.
No, actually, I actually think this is important, but maybe this is exactly what we need to talk about because it is traumatic. There's nothing. Okay, number one fear is public speaking, and then to be humiliated.
Yes.
On a national platform.
Yes.
To have somebody buzz you and then be mean to you.
Yeah.
And you're a nice guy, a hilarious guy, and it's just such a weird.
It was horrible. So the whole day was surreal because you start out and it's like being in a circus. People are practicing their sword swallowing or whatever they do in this one room.
Yeah. There's all these jugglers and ballerinas.
Yeah, everybody's like odd. It's something wrong with everybody, right? And I'm sitting there in a suit for 8 hours, and
hanging out with circus performers.
Oh, it's horrible. And they would do interviews. And you had to be extras. They had to fill the background. So you had to stand in the background and pretend you're talking to someone while someone's getting interviewed in the back. So it was all like unreal. So they tell you right before you go out, they go, okay, well, we're going to start the show. And just remember, 200,000 people tried out for this. And it's down to you, 150 people. Your career's going to take off from tonight. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's going to happen, right? And to make it even more surreal, do you know the artist Jeffrey Osborne, the Grammy-winning artist Jeffrey? Anyways,
I don't know.
Jeffrey Osborne, a Grammy Award winner, just an iconic singer, right? And I had met him at a golf tournament before, and I was palling around with him. He was supporting his friend's daughter who was on the show, and he was hanging out with me all day. We were kibitzing the whole time. He was there, right there, and I get buzzed right in front of him. I mean, he's watching me, and I had to run out because I had to catch a red eye to Connecticut that night. It was in LA, so I had to catch a red eye, and I handed him all, great seeing you, Jeffrey. And he kind of looked at his feet like, man, that was rough, kind of thing.
That's the worst when people won't make eye contact with you after a show.
And he's the nicest human.
A nice guy that's just like, I can't even look at you because
it was horrible. So okay, so that.
I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, it gets worse. And then, so I'm thinking, bad. That was horrible. Just a horrible moment. But, you're a comedian. We've had horrible shows, and we just need to wash that off.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a couple other shows, you do okay. I'm fine.
Yeah.
All I just needed to happen was for that not to make the air. I just needed to not. And so,
God.
Fast forward about 6 months, and I'm at a movie theater with my wife and my niece, and my phone is blowing up. And I'm all, honey, I got to take this outside. I don't know, someone's trying to get in touch with me bad. And it's all, I'm sorry, that's so messed up. Oh my gosh, that was terrible. Oh, sorry, man. It was a million of those.
And having to relive it.
And and about, I don't know, 1,000 people posted it. So it's impossible to get offline. So I used to tell people, just go online and check me out. If you like me, you like me. You don't, you don't. And now I never do that because
that shows up in the search engine.
That's the first thing. The first 100. It's like,
and there's nothing a person can do to suppress a clip like that.
No.
It's like that's the thing.
And I've never seen the whole thing. I haven't got myself to see it. That's the kind of trauma. I mean, I have not looked at it. And it was so bad. And everybody that I know seen it. And this is the worst part of the whole story. So it airs in the summer of whatever year that was. And then this crazy opportunity, like I'll have to say this was about 8 months later. And George Lopez, who I opened for many, many years, we're very good friends. He calls me and he says, "Hey, would you like to play golf at Pebble Beach in Northern California?"
Wow,
I would love to.
fancy.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? And I go, I would love to. And he goes, "Okay, well, I'm already in Northern California. You're gonna fly up with Eddie Van Halen, and we're gonna play." This is a few years
on
ago.
a private jet.
On a private jet. So it was like this amazing moment, right? So, and I had known Eddie for a little bit at that point, but I'm not that great. So just the two of us are flying up. It was great.
My mouth is agape. I didn't know you knew Eddie Van Halen.
Oh man, wow. Yeah, it was a really.
Well, you jetted around with George Lopez did you meet him through George or something?
I did. I met him through George.
And then you guys just jetting around on a private jet.
And then we played a lot of golf, George, Eddie, and myself. And
wow.
And so I got to know him fairly. This is a sidebar, but I actually performed at his birthday party.
What?
It was crazy. Anyways, whatever. I'm all patting
What a
myself.
life. Yeah, but also you appreciate it. You're actually, I know you. You're so humble and you appreciate these opportunities. You're not like name dropping. It's just real. This is what happened. And
it was amazing.
So there you are. This is 8 months later.
I'm with Eddie Van Halen flying into Pebble Beach. So we get off the plane and there is a woman who's the driver. And she's in a big black SUV, like typical. And I'm walking shoulder to shoulder with Eddie Van Halen, one of the greatest guitarists that's ever lived in the world.
You're like the Mod Squad.
Oh, man. I was like so stoked. And the first thing this woman says is, "You're that guy from America's Got Talent, aren't you?" Oh, my. I could not believe it. And Eddie Van Halen was like, What's she talking about? Because she didn't know who he was at all. I mean, I was the guy it's 8 months after it aired. Oh. And she's like, "You're that guy. Oh, was that real? Was that like a setup, kind of thing?" And she's talking to me about it. And
that's your angle now.
Oh, I wish it was true.
I want you to embrace that.
I think I should.
Yes. That was all a setup. That was all part of the plan.
Right.
You're a great actor. Oh. And you're so confident that you were willing to go on that stage and make it look like you got
right.
Can I give you some feedback on that set? No, here's what I want to tell you. You did nothing wrong. Here's how I know they set you up, and I'll tell you how they set you up because I watched it and I was like, yeah, because I love you, and I was like, I can't even imagine this.
Yeah.
And I was auditioning for it, and the reason I watched it was because I'm like, Nancy, how are you going to behave if this happens? Because my mother at the time, when I told her I was going to audition, she's like, I do not like this. I do not have a good feeling.
Really?
And my mom's very intuitive, so I should be glad I dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure I could. I don't know, man. I have such low self-esteem. I just don't know if I could do that.
Well, you and I both, but I really think.
But here's where I think they set you up. So here's what. No, I'm telling you, because and they may have done this in post-production. So what they do is they can either make you look endearing in your backstory, or a little bit like the only thing they let you say, or that they left in the backstory, was that you had walked away from a $2 million business. And it wasn't vulnerable. It was like, oh, here's this guy that had a $2 million business or something. Yeah. I could tell they weren't trying to make the audience have a feeling of endearment.
Yeah.
And then the bit was about who your partner sets you up with, right? It's the one you do where it's, and it's really self-deprecating. You're actually saying, you can tell what people think of you by the date they set you up with.
Yes.
But I think it was like the timing of whatever. I don't think it was Me Too at that time. But this, I don't know. I think it just, the way it either got edited or there wasn't time enough for them to love you first and then make that commentary, because I think it came off as making fun of an ugly woman.
Person. Yeah.
And I think that's what is like, that's too bad, because it's not who you are.
I put myself in a bad spot because my next joke is saying, well, I can't rip them because I would never do online dating because they set you up with your perfect match, and I would not need that. You know what I mean? And that's the joke. But I mean, I get it too. And
so that
that's a great
I just wanted you to know that it was, well, What do you mean it's a great idea?
No, it's a great piece of thing to think about because I didn't even think about the jokes, but that makes perfect sense.
Oh, that show is all about backstory.
Yeah.
Can I tell you? So when I auditioned, and this is how I asked my son, can I exploit your adoption? Like I had fertility issues. I finally got to adopt a child and, third world country story.
Yeah.
And then I talked about growing up and people making fun of me, barking at me in high school, being ugly with a lazy eye.
Oh my.
And then I was like, then, this is, I'll just show you what an asshole I am. So when I was in Las Vegas or wherever we were auditioning live, and like you said, there's all these circus performers, and I'm there like, I got a lazy eye, and then there's a guy like with a little flipper for,
oh my God.
you know what I mean? And I'm like, and I feel like such an asshole. Like, why am I playing this card? Like when this guy,
that's hilarious.
when this guy has hands for shoulders, and I'm being a dick now. So anyway.
God, that's a bit right there. That is hilarious. Oh.
No, but I'm an asshole. But I mean,
It's so great.
I'm
though.
so glad I didn't get on. They passed. Look, I didn't even make the cut to get on the show. So hey, man. And I really want you to start reframing it like that in your mind. Like
I think
that is what you wanted to happen. And you know what? Maybe your higher power did.
Maybe
your higher power spared you. Who knows? You might have gotten your own sitcom and been a complete asshole by now.
Maybe I would have lost my marriage. Maybe my kids would have hated me. Maybe.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
We got to trust our path right now.
Yeah,
and it doesn't change who you really are.
Yeah. But it does wear on you, especially the first, I'd say, whole year. I was like, I wouldn't tell people I was a comedian. Because everybody goes online. They go, what do you do for a living? I would say anything. Well, sales.
I feel this in my chest. I mean, I have a lot of empathy, and I just feel this heaviness on my chest.
It's crazy.
And it's one of the things that we as people who get into this, I mean, I know for me, and I would like to hear it for you, but for me, the beginning of getting into this, and still it's here. It's like I still want validation and love. I want to be known, loved, and celebrated. I didn't feel that in my family. Ben Roy's crushing it. We're in the green room, by the way.
Yeah,
so
that's what the
I don't think
is.
I've acknowledged that yet, that we're in the green room, and Ben Roy is killing it. But so, I mean, there's just some unmet childhood needs. And so there's an insecure person in there who really gets externally referenced. In other words, like, you know what that means. I mean, I don't know why I'm saying it like that. It just feels like a weird way to say we get validation from others that we need to give to ourselves.
Yeah.
So that is devastating.
Yeah, it was my first really big blow. We've all had some, we've had some rejection, but that one really, really hurt. And
it's the publicness of it.
Yeah, and
it's like a electronic tattoo.
Yeah,
that you can't get rid of.
You
or something.
can't shake it, and it was such a big. I mean, it's shocking. It blew me away how many people recognized me from. I mean, that wasn't the only time I was recognized. I was recognized at restaurants. I was recognized by caddies. Another time we were playing golf, I was recognized quite a bit. It was amazing.
I have another approach to this.
Okay.
Because sometimes, and this is where
ears.
Well, this is where I am now in my process. Because I am now, I'm doing this podcast as part of my recovery program as an adult child of a dysfunctional family, trying to help other people cope with trauma. Before I go on stage, and I forgot to do it tonight, and I think it showed, I usually say, let this be for the highest good, and may I be of service to these people rather than make it about me.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, let me help these people. And sometimes I even have that thought, like, if I need to bomb to make somebody live through today, like, at least I'm not her. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody's on the brink of suicide and they see me survive, but I'm serious. What if you saved lives by doing that? By people going, wait, if that guy can survive that.
Yeah.
I have this little humiliation in my neighborhood or whatever it is. I got ostracized from my community with my ex, and I had suicidal ideation.
Oh, no.
Because that feeling of being exiled feels like death, and I felt shunned. And so I'm going to say you saved a life.
Yeah, well, thank you, because that's a great
by
way to
showing
think about
people
it.
like, if he can survive that, I can get through this day.
Yeah, that's amazing, and I'm not kidding around. Just because I'm going to take that with me, because when it first happened, like you said, I mean, I was stressed that it was going to come out and be aired, and once it was aired, I was like, I had 1 foot out of comedy. And I had 1 foot, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I was spinning because it was it was shocking how many things went wrong after that. It was kind of like this
cascading events.
Yeah, it was one of these things where I was like really down, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? I can't do comedy anymore. But time goes on. And you have friends that, kind of boost you up. You do shows, and thank goodness you get some good shows under your belt again, and you kind of get that off you, but you never forget. And I think that's a good thing in some way, and it does keep you grounded, like really grounded.
Yep.
Like really, really
grounded. Like splat on the earth, man. But I'm telling you, I bet you saved lives.
I'm going to take that.
That's why people remembered it, because I think people watch shows. Gabby on the last episode was talking about watching these dating shows, and she was like, the humiliation. She goes, I think some of those people stay together because it's like being Vietnam vet, that they were so humiliated on the program that they're like, oh. We're okay, right? Because they humiliate these contestants. I haven't watched a lot of them.
Me either.
But she's like,
I've seen some.
And she's like, she's an actor, and I'm like, would you ever take? Because she gets a lot of stuff in her inbox from wanting actors on those kind of shows, and she says, I will not do a dating show because I just don't want to go through that humiliation. But she likes to watch them, and I was like, oh, interesting. I get it. We all do. We kind of like to watch, see people getting through psychological stress. So I think that's why it made it so memorable for people, is that they saw that and it made an impression.
Yeah.
And maybe it helped them get out of their own stress.
Yeah. And they did build it, they built that story that I left a multi-million-dollar company. And that really wasn't the case. What happened is I told them that my last real job was I ran a business for my brother-in-law, but I wasn't running it very well. I was running it into the ground. So, I mean, not in the ground.
And that part I don't remember hearing that. It's been a while since I saw it.
Yeah, well, see, they didn't. So if you look at it online, what I see every time I see a Bryan Kellen thing online, it says, this man gave up left his multi-million-dollar company to be a comedian. See if he makes it. That kind of thing,
That's the teaser.
That's the thing, yeah.
And then that's when you scroll right past. I have another idea I'd like to bring up at the meeting.
Yes.
I want you to do how on TikTok there are duets?
Yeah.
And then what if, I don't know, I'm wondering if you could reframe it and have some side-by-side footage of you crushing, and then with that set, so that it starts showing up in the feed. If anybody clicks on that, they see the duet.
That's a great idea.
And they see the juxtaposition, which I think is a beautiful thing to show people anyway with this business. I mean, obviously, the longer we're in it, the less the statistics get a little better. Typically, we kind of can read the variables and stuff like that. But that's a one-off anomaly. You can't. But I'm just saying, at the beginning, I don't know what your stats were. I was probably batting, 250. I mean, it was a lot. I mean, not even that. I bombed the first 2 years. Ugh.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we just went, and I felt like this was a calling. I mean, I got goosebumps on my neck when I'm not going to go into the whole story, but I felt called to do this.
Wow.
And then I bombed for 2 years. I mean, I killed it the first time and bombed.
Oh, really?
And bombed for the next 2 years. And I'm like, God, why do I have to do this?
It's funny. We have very similar. Everything. We are very similar. I always think of you as like the sister that I didn't have. We have very close, in my opinion. Because when I started out, I counted my shows. I wrote every show down that I did. Every open mic, everything. I did over 100 before I got more than one laugh in a set. I bombed every night.
I did not do the statistics. I didn't have a spreadsheet or anything, but I bet it was close. And I'd caught artist. I was an artist. I am an artist, I guess. But I would draw pictures. I'd do affirmation photographs, and I would one drop of moisture in my mouth. I would try and visualize, because I had cotton mouth. My knees were shaking. My first joke, I had to write a joke that covered. I had one of these kind of voices. I was so scared on stage that I had to cover it up with a postmenopausal smoker character to break the ice. And I was like, "My name's Velma, and I'm an alcoholic."
That is hilarious. That's working with it.
I had to. I had to mask. I had to mask.
Yeah.
And I think one thing they say about women, with ADHD and on the spectrum, is we mask more than men. I don't know why. Maybe we just
interesting.
I don't know why women mask better, but I had to mask my fear that way. I was like,
it's brilliant though. It's brilliant. That you always hear about, comedians who use it as therapy, or it gets them through a lot of other things. And a lot of times I'm like, I'm just like a bubblegum guy, It's just not like that, but it really is. But when you hear someone do what you did, I had this fluttering voice, so I didn't know what to do. So I made a bit out of it. That's brilliant, I think.
I choked on something while I was doing that.
But I
Listen
kept
to my
talking.
voice. No, right now. Have you ever had that happen on stage?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever walked on stage and you take that first breath and saliva goes down the wrong pipe, and you're like, you start off with this like oh my God.
I love it. When I see it in someone else, though, I appreciate it so much because it happens to be. I do that. I sleep with. I'm an open mouth sleeper, so I get that drip that goes all the way down the bottom of your lung. You wake up on a plane just like you're about ready to die. So I have that all the time. So that kind of stuff happens to me a lot. So
you wake up hacking coughing all the time. It might even be our anatomy. Is it like I when I say I come from a long line of chokers, and I mean I do. Like it's like Thanksgiving is like Thanksgiving at the Heimlichs. Somebody
that's
chokes.
hilarious.
Somebody's gonna be choking. Like I think there's something wrong with the back of our throats that it's like wide open or something.
Who's the meat gonna kill this year? Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome.
Man, so you're saying, all right, you're a bubblegum guy, but even the bubblegum stuff, like even cartooning, because I think you and I both like to really cartoon our pain in a super exaggerated, so silly, so lighthearted, but behind it, we are expressing something out of our body environment that is like we don't want in there. Yeah. For me, I feel, I just have layers of stuff. I don't need to go into all my stuff, but it's just, it can be either from my appearance, but it can also just be from that sense of not being wanted as a child, let me dance and make people laugh and feel like I have a purpose. And what about you? What's your childhood and when? Yeah,
I was just talking to this guy I'm working with. He wants to write a book, and he asked me about my life, and he said he's all, man, I think we got a good book here. The only problem is we don't have enough adversity. You've had a good life. You're a lucky guy. You know what I mean? When someone looks at it from the outside, they're like,
you don't have enough. You don't have enough.
You had a good childhood. You had good parents. You had good siblings. What are you whining about? You know what I mean? So I really had a great childhood. I'm very, very lucky. But
I used to say that before therapy.
Yeah, I know. Once I started, I'd be
let's dig a little deeper, Brian.
Mom. Yeah.
Let's give you some MDMA and see what happens.
Well, my big thing is, I am self-diagnosed, but I am very, very codependent in the way that I have very low self-esteem, and I'm a people pleaser, and I have a very difficult time saying no.
That's why you're on this podcast.
I was here. I'm a man. I can't go home. I'm missing a barbecue at the house because I'm doing no. I would jump at this, but I have a very, very difficult time saying no, and it's a big problem. And a lot of that comes from I was the fourth of four kids.
Bryan Kellen is the fourth of four children. I like to call myself fourth of three children that were wanted. Just a little opportunity for me to remind you I have a comedy album out there available on Spotify or wherever you get your comedy albums. The name of my album is Nancy Norton, Fourth of Three.
And the youngest of four. But growing up, I mean, to me, my siblings were very good looking and they did everything really well. And they acted right and they did the right things. I always felt I just wasn't. There was something odd about me. You know what I mean? I was goofy and funny, but there was, all my friends were these good-looking, successful, smart guys, and I always felt like I was not that.
So you felt like something's wrong with me, or I'm substandard, or I'm inadequate, or
big time. And the only reason I was very popular growing up, but it was because I was athletic. I was good in sports. But it was like a sham for me because I always felt like they're only hanging around me because I'm the quarterback or
that's
something.
the story you told yourself.
Exactly. So I always felt like these guys were. I always felt lower than everybody, all my friends. You know what I mean? Like we go out when I was in college, and it seemed like they were popular with meeting women and stuff, and I was always just kind of like this dog that hung around them. You know what I mean? I always felt that was my way. Yeah,
And it's hard for us to imagine that. Like to me, you're just so lovable, likable, honest, transparent. You know what I mean? I feel like, gosh, I can't imagine you feeling that way.
But I mean,
but I believe you. I don't want to. I'm just saying. Isn't that interesting? From the outside, we don't know what people are struggling with on the inside. When it looks like, you got. Here you are, this like super jock, and you're so talented. And
you feel like you don't belong in the room with some of your friends, and And a lot of we talk about like the bits that you write. I mean, when I started out, or when I finally started getting laughs, it was because I was really going inward, and I was talking about my appearance. Couldn't stand. I have a very long nose. I know you can't tell that on the podcast, but I have a
Google
long,
it.
Yeah, Google
Just
it.
put in Bryan Kellen nose.
Yeah.
Actually, there'll be a
profile.
comedy bit that comes up, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But you felt self-conscious about your
Very
nose.
self-conscious. So I started out doing that kind of stuff. But I mean, even like I have dating jokes, and even the last one I did on America's Got Talent, the one that I got the buzz, that was always a really, really big joke for me. And how that joke came about, and it's funny how building a joke, I had the move. I did this pterodactyl thing, and people would laugh at me. I would do this at parties. It was a joke. It was a something. But I'm trying, once I did stand-up, I'm trying to get this in the act. And I tried for years to get in the act, and it's never, ever worked until I was honest. And I just found exactly what the perfect thing for that perfect joke for that move would be, and that was I would never go to an online dating service because I'd be embarrassed, and I would never get anybody to give me the right swipe or whatever you're supposed to do. I've never done it, but I would never do it because I'm just so afraid of the rejection.
Yeah, so that's a big fear.
Yeah, huge
Rejection.
I have a massive fear of failure.
So you do.
Oh.
So that's why that AGT thing is compounded.
Yeah.
But now we know you were saving lives.
I'm saving lives.
And
so.
what a great actor. I mean, it looked like you were really disappointed and hurt.
Thank you. You love me. You really love me.
You were so convincing when you played that role.
Yeah, thank you. I did a lot of. I was a method actor.
And thank you. I mean, seriously, I'm very spiritual these days as a result of my program. And not just that, I've always been pretty connected with higher power, who I often call God. And I will say, I think God used you to save lives on that particular episode.
That's the most positive thing anybody's ever told me.
I want you to know that.
Thank
I think you need to know that.
Thank you.
I feel like I have spirit guides I'm starting to channel. So I feel like that's why we're talking today, so that you really need to know that.
Yeah. Well,
some people watched that and they had more compassion for themselves because they watched you endure something that is like everyone who ever would see that would know that is a brutal experience.
Yeah.
Of somebody full of hopes and dreams, putting themselves out there, their craft, their skill they've worked on for years, and have it to be rejected by somebody who doesn't know how to cut his own hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The weirdest haircut in the world. What is up with Simon?
I have no idea.
And then the way that I think, and I don't know, I heard that he has more compassion now that he has a child, but he demonstrates a very low empathy.
Yeah.
To me, it felt like they used you, and I don't like it.
And they were doing their job though. I mean, it's what they're.
And it is. It's about sensational. It's about they don't want it. They want it either big high, big low. That's the whole excitement of it.
Yeah. And someone's got to take the blow.
And you were the only one that could survive it. So
hey, well, there you go. There's that.
You're a tough guy.
God bless America and these wonderful shows. But it's funny, in speaking to you, because we've known each other for 20 years.
At least,
I'd have to say
maybe more,
maybe
25 years.
I'm
the
guessing.
First time I feel like I met you or hung out with you, maybe at a show, was at Wits End.
Yep, I remember that night.
And I don't know if you were going to go somewhere, but can I tell a really quick
I'm in no
story?
rush. I am enjoying this. Are you kidding
Well,
me?
I just wanted, I know you were headed somewhere. I don't know if you were.
No.
But the thing what came to my mind was at Wits End is where I met Tig Notaro.
Yeah.
And the reason we are friends, and the only reason we are friends, is because she bombed at Wits End and they fired her on Saturday night.
Are you serious?
As I was driving in, I was the feature act. I don't remember who's headlining. I thought, this woman is the most talented.
Yeah.
I have not seen anybody this strong on stage in a long time. Her everything was so original.
Yeah.
And also her confidence. I thought, dang, I don't think I'll ever have this much confidence.
Isn't that crazy?
Because she's super confident. But anyway, they had her. It was her first paid gigs. They had her hosting, which she doesn't have the hostess personality.
No,
whatever,
to say the least. But
so there is an animated short. I'll try and put a link to it in the show notes. Of Tig did an animated short of herself getting fired. I'm featured in it.
Are you serious?
As the nice hacky comedian. No, she doesn't really say that. I call myself hacky in the cartoon, because she's driving out of the parking lot. I'm driving in and I'm like, Tig, where are you going? And She's like, oh, I got fired. And I was like,
Oh.
and I thought she was joking because she's so deadpan.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, good one. What, do you need a tampon or something? I mean, I didn't know where would somebody be going 10 minutes before? I know, but that's like, but where would somebody be going 10 minutes before the show? Like a woman, that's one thing I just know. Women, sometimes it's like, I got to go get something, you know, for my sanitary needs. But, which I always had in my trunk at the time. So I literally was thinking that. And she's like, no, I got fired. Oh. And I'm like, no, you're the most talented. I can't believe this. Right. Anyway, and I told her, I go, just be glad. I go, be glad that you don't play in a strip mall. Sorry, strip club.
Oh, that's awesome.
Be glad you don't play in a mall. Why can't I say that?
You're always that helper positive.
But it is the truth. It's not just being helper positive. I really feel like I channel the truth. Like, be glad you have a voice. Like, look, I am an entertainer. I have worked hard, I think, as you have, to be able to connect with people from all walks of life, because we play in all these different situations. Yeah. And there's different kinds of comics, but she's in her lane, and Tig is who she is no matter where she is. And there's just certain towns she doesn't play. I mean, once she got to a certain level, she's like, I'm not going there anymore. I don't have to. Yeah. But I still, like, there's something in me that likes the challenge of, like, I just played a Southern Baptist church. Wow. And I mean, yeah, we connected. I can find the heart connection in different places. But anyway, that's my point is you have a friend out there. And it's just got to trust our path, like, for whatever reason. But I'm grateful that I got to bond with Tig, because she was devastated. It really hurt her. Man, and like you said, knowing, I don't know her very well, but we were on Comics Unleashed together. Oh, really? That's when I met her. Oh. And that was obviously a million years ago, too. But she is so confident. That's the thing. Yeah. You know? But, you know, Ben Roy's wrapping up. Let's pretend this is applause for us. Okay. And next week. Yeah. So, yeah, she is. But, you know, anyway, I don't want to tell her stories because I feel like, but I mean, she's like, we know this about people that look cool. There's still a lot going on underneath there that she cares about that doesn't maybe not be obvious. But, okay, moving on. What would you like to bring up at the meeting? Anything? Well, you say in therapy it comes out. You know, it's funny. Just in speaking with you, it comes in because I feel all four of the kids in my family, my 3 siblings, 2 sisters and a brother. We all have this codependence-ish. I think I have it way the worst, but my mother was one of these people who just, like, we were perfect. We were the Osmonds. I mean, we were perfect. My brother and I, he was a year and a half older than me. We dressed alike. My sisters were a year apart. They dressed alike. And it was that. And we were always had the smile on her face. When we shook hands, she was very concerned about. How are we? Looking great. Looking great. Yeah. Okay. And that was, and never, like, raise a stink, never make a scene, never do that. And so I think it stuck with me the most because I just don't, I just avoid conflict at any level, you know. And my brother was a fighter guy, you know, and I always said, hey, you ruined bread. Oh, that was amazing. Well done, sir. It's been right. He just crushed. What were we saying when Ben Roy so rudely came into the green room he's headlining? His own green room. Yeah, and we took it over. It was about codependence in my family. Oh, my right, like, that your mom. Perfect. Okay, yes, that things that you guys had to be perfect. You also don't make waves. We have to think about how we're impacting others. Yes. Rather than knowing how am I feeling? Exactly. How am I doing? What are my needs? Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing that your mom, this is a lot. I'm in a recovery program for codependency as well. So a lot of times that is a generational, what we call generational disease. Codependency is a disease, but I don't know if it's a disease. But anyway, codependency, that learned behavior that we have to always be thinking about others. My mom was like that, very concerned. Even at 94, in her retirement community where she lived, assisted living or whatever, her adjoining neighbor, she had only one wall that was common with a neighbor, Mary, who was deaf. Uh-oh. But my mother would shush me when I was.
Oh,
she
that's
loved,
hilarious.
She loved watching tennis, so we were watching some amazing tennis match. Anyway, I jumped to my feet a couple times. Woo! And my mom's like, "You're gonna bother Mary."
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
I was like, "Mom, she's deaf."
Yep, that's.
And then
that's awesome.
I went to dinner with her, and we're doing the walkers down the hall, and she and Mary were walking beside each other. I go, "Mary, did we bother you cheering for the tennis match?" She goes, "Oh, what? I was watching baseball. I didn't hear anything."
Oh, that's awesome.
And I was trying to show my mom like it's okay.
Yeah,
but I
tough.
still, to her death, and she's gone now. But to the end,
yeah,
I know it's heartbreaking. Is your mom still living?
Yes, my mother's still alive, and my mother, however, we were raised that way. She is less that way than we are. So as adults, she's kind of stifled by us. Like, what? Why would you let someone do that to you? And we're
Oh,
like,
really?
well,
So now she's more empowered.
Yeah, I think she always was, but I think her view of a family, and the way she was very concerned about how we appeared to people. And we always want to be very, very helpful. That was a big thing too. But I mean, she always was very concerned how we appeared. But I mean, I don't think she ever really was the codependent thing. I think she just kind of turned the right screws to make all of us somewhat. I mean, I'm not saying my mother's a great mother, but I just think a lot.
That was a value that she wanted to instill.
Exactly. And I don't know if, obviously I think I have a lot of other things going on aside from that. But I mean, we were that perfect family. And now she's amazed at how sometimes people walk all over you. She's like, well, why would you let that ever happen? I don't understand.
Because you program me this way, Mom.
I know. I'm not. I don't want to ever blame my mom for anything. She was amazing, but she was just this perfect. But all of us have a little bit of this codependence where people kind of get over on us quite a bit. And for me, and I think a lot of it is just because I just didn't deal with it for a long, long time. And I honestly, I mean, I would work. I'd stay in jobs for way too long because I didn't want the conflict of leaving. And I work with people that I didn't feel comfortable working with, and just because I didn't want to face the conflict. You know what I mean? I would just, and the wheels spin, and you don't move forward because you're not doing the right things for yourself. It's crippling at times, but it really comes down when you talk to somebody. It sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, I know when you say it out loud, and it is important. I think it's good to say it out loud.
Yeah,
because then you can go, oh wait. Sometimes if I have these, just inside myself, it makes sense somehow. But when you say it out loud, it's like, wait a minute, it is okay to ask for what I want and state my needs. Yeah, things like that. What kind of professions do your siblings do? Are they in caring professions? I just did a show for firefighters and nurses, and they are often codependent just because they want to help others.
That would be that's simple math, right? It seems like that's
the helping
a lot of
field.
People would be that way. I would think it would draw that ilk of person. My oldest sister, she is she's in public relations. She does PR for high tech companies in the Bay Area.
Oh, okay.
And the Silicon Valley. So she does very well. And but she's
but she's got to please all these people, right?
Yeah. And relationships. I mean, relationships. We don't do well. And I mean, she's got a great partner. I mean, her partner's great. I'm very good friends with her. She's a wonderful person. But you just kind of see this unsure look. I think in my small education or very limited education of codependency is. It affects you in a way where the person that you're codependent with doesn't need to do anything. You're already bending over backwards.
Yeah, you're anticipating their needs.
Yes, and that's what all of us do. I think it's no one else's fault. They're just being human beings,
right? And
I think that all four of us, we bend over backwards and we do these crazy things before, just in anticipation of what we think they would. Approve of or not approve of, Yeah,
you're just way over function in relationships.
Yes. Yeah. That's all of us.
Wow, I wonder if there's anything, that you want to change about that, or you just sort of accepted it, or you're just like, this is just who I am, I'm going to keep doing it.
I thought so for a while. I thought, I'm kind of that guy. I can get through it. It's not a big deal. I can just do my own thing. But after a while, you want to be alone, and that's not healthy. You go, I just want to be alone because I don't want.
Because you're drained.
Yeah, I exactly.
Because you're scanning Because when you're, at least for me, it's like there's a constant scanning of like, do you need something? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'll interrupt people in their own conversation because I think they might need a drink of water or something. And wait, but I can't hear what you're saying because I'm worried you need a drink of water.
Oh, that's awesome.
Do you ever do that? Like,
oh, my sister is
I
that human
catch
being.
myself in the middle, like interrupting people when they are talking to me and I can't hear what they're saying because I'm worried they need a snack.
Yeah.
Like what?
That's hilarious.
But I don't. But so now that you have this awareness that like, okay, I need some recharge time.
Yeah.
I need some me time.
And I need someone. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I need someone to kind of validate the fact that I have these issues, and maybe someone who could kind of that I could talk to help me out and have a great a point of view or thought process when I feel the way I feel, because I see it coming now and I see myself doing it. And when I tell people, my favorite time in the world is when I'm on a plane, on a long airline flight. That's
because you're clocked out.
Yes, and no one can get to me.
And you can go within.
Yeah.
And you're offline.
Yes.
You can put on a blindfold. I like now that we also can wear a mask because I love to sleep with my mouth like 5 inches wide.
That's exactly how I am. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, but now that because I kept, you know what, I used to try and invent this thing that was like a ball cap with a veil that would, you know what I mean? Like I was trying to figure out how can I sleep on a plane without feeling like people are looking down my throat because my mouth literally is open like a corpse.
That is hilarious.
But now that we can wear a mask without feeling too freakish, I mean, I would love wearing a mask and the eye mask and just like and some headphones, some noise canceling headphones.
Oh, forget it. I'm in heaven.
Dude.
I'm in heaven.
You know what? My dad used to say this because he had a CPAP machine. You know, the CPAP
well,
for
course.
sleep apnea.
Yeah.
He loved that thing because he had the one that just kind of was like a mask. And he goes, he used to say this, and it sounds terrible. Women will hate this. But my dad would go, I put this on and the bitchin' stops.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know that sounds mean, but my mom, you know, she had a lot of needs and I don't think was ever really satisfied. And my dad just wanted to please her. And I think it was just whenever, if you were awake, he would, I mean, his mantra was, yes, dear.
Oh, wow.
And so and it's not, so, and often when we are codependent, we find these complementary personalities. Like there's books, you know, Codependent No More.
Of course.
This Melody Beattie, some people say it Beatty, B-E-A, I think it's T-T-I-E.
Oh.
She wrote amazing books on codependency.
Really?
So that it just helps set boundaries so that you can do a healthy boundary where you don't have to go on an airplane to take care of yourself. Like, but you can do that psychologically. Easier said than done.
Of course, yeah.
I can't even read a book if someone's in the house because my feelers are out wondering, are they okay?
Interesting.
I really can't focus if someone's in my space.
Really? That's interesting. I have to say, obviously I do a lot of unhealthy things in my relationship with my wife. But my wife, though, has helped me bounce out of that, whether she's conscious of it or not, because, you know, you're married. And you're married, that's it. I mean, we're pretty committed, and I would have to stand up on my 2 feet, and I would have to. I don't want to use the word fight back, but I would have to stand up for yourself in situations when you're married. Because my wife is my wife, and my wife's a very straightforward human being. You know, she says it like it is. She wears her emotions on her sleeve, and I'm like the opposite of that. So it made me kind of come out of that little shell. Just to survive in the relationship. And you know, once you do it, you're like, okay, I got that. You know, so I have a healthier relationship with my wife than I do like with anybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is cool. But I mean, I'm sure I still do a ton of things that aren't healthy, but at least there's that. She's helped me, like, you know, because I've been in relationships before her, long-term relationships, where we never fought. We never fought.
Wow. That's my ex-husband and me.
Yeah.
You know why? Because he didn't want to fight. I'm a fighter.
Oh, really?
I'm a fighter. I'm not even, I mean, honestly, I loved just not arguing for arguing's sake, but maybe I did sometimes. But my thing was I want to discuss things. I love talking about ideas, or he just no interest. And I mean, I cannot recall a fight we ever had.
Yeah.
Like an argument.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? I was in a 7-year relationship. I cannot remember one fight we were in before. And then in this relationship with my wife, I mean, she's not afraid to start a fight, and start to tell you exactly what's on her mind, and then tell you how unhappy she is with you. And it took me, a long time to actually tell her that I was unhappy with her. It took a long time for me to go, hey, what are you doing? This bothers me a lot. It was huge to get to that point for me.
Yeah, because we have codependents typically are terrified of abandonment, and so to risk stating a complaint or something that you're afraid, like maybe they're going to reject me or blow up, and I don't know, like that you might hurt someone's feelings.
Yeah.
Like to you, maybe the worst thing you could do is hurt someone's feelings.
Yeah, it honestly is, and that's normal. But then, like you said, the abandonment things, that's legitimate. I mean, I have these feelings where, like, if I say this, I can't do this, or I can't do this. This golf trip with these guys, I mean, they're never going to call me again. I'll lose that friend, and I don't want to do that. Those are real thoughts in your head.
Yeah. Oh, this is so good. So
this is a total, like...
this is exactly what this is for, because each episode has been so different. We touch in on something else, and there'll be somebody hear that and go, yes, I understand. I'm the same way. And here's how you've done it, and you took a chance, and you incrementally started asserting yourself, and you found out, wait, she's not leaving me. She actually does love me. I actually am lovable, and I am worth sticking around for, and I'm worth whatever, working through a disagreement. That must be amazing. I'm 60, I'm 62, and I have yet to have a healthy, loving relationship that was healthy, so good on you, Brian.
Thank you very much.
Good on you.
But
I'm happy for you and Marcy. How long have you all been together now?
22 years.
Wow. And you met her at Wits End, right?
It may have been the same week we met.
What? That might be it. I bet it was. That sounds about right. If you said it was like 20 and I was thinking 25, I bet 22 years.
22. And,
Boom.
And speaking of which, someone got fired the week we were working together.
Man, was that Cooney? Was it John Cooney?
It was Cooney at the time.
He must have, I need to tell Tig. I didn't know he had fired other people.
Fired the middle act. Jeez. Remember? And I was just vying for that.
When I was there, you
were headlining. And I was the MC because I did everything there. I did a guest set. They hired me, and John said, I don't remember hiring you. So how did you get here? Kind of thing.
What?
That's what he asked me the first day I showed up. I'm like, I said I did a guest set, and it went pretty well, and you gave me a date. And he's like, I don't remember.
What?
So I'm emceeing, and the middle act was struggling. He was kind of a performance, more one-man showy type act, if you remember.
Oh no!
Great
and I know
guy.
him. We're still friends.
He was a great guy.
Oh my God, he's gay and he wore wigs. And
Yes.
they fired him. I forgot. I didn't know they fired him. My God, I got to tell him that he got fired from the same club as Tig. No, he is a friend. I see him on Facebook. He lives in Minneapolis. And it hurt his heart so much because he loves Lily Tomlin. So that's his hero. Lily Tomlin. So he does like a one woman show, because he did a lot of female characters.
Yeah.
Still does. But somebody stole his wig.
Oh,
I forgot about that.
gosh,
One of his wigs got stolen, and it was so hurtful to him that they were mean to him. On top of bombing, on top of getting fired, somebody stole his wig. Wow, that club has a lot of wounds in it.
Man, I tell you what, those walls could speak. Yeah, and I was vying for that middle spot. I mean, I really felt bad for him. And then we went out to lunch a few times. He and I, we were getting along great, famously during that week. He was my buddy, and he didn't.
Were you sharing the condo?
No, I was.
Staying with family or something?
I think I was staying with family. I don't think I was staying in the... Oh, I might have been staying in the... I was staying in the condo. I take it back. Sorry about that. Yeah. And,
so you guys were sharing the condo.
We were hanging out. He was a great guy. We were hanging out. And he took it so hard, when he
As you do when you get fired.
From a comedy club.
Ouch.
It's brutal. And
But in that club, see, it didn't have a big range of. It was a strip mall club. I mean, guitar acts played really well there.
Yes.
And people who cartoon their pain. Apparently, I hate to say it, but we cartooners, we can play a strip mall.
Yeah.
But if you're doing something edgy like he was, it was really more. It was more theater.
Yeah.
He was doing theater, and I will say, because back in the day, at that time I was out. I was the lesbian comedian, but I sometimes didn't even come out at that club because it was not always a safe place to do edgy material in Westminster.
Oh, yeah, Westminster. Colorado.
Yeah.
So but going all the way back, I think that was might have been her first week.
Marcy's
first week as a cocktail waitress, and she and we met, but we didn't, nothing. There was nothing going on. But that club, do you remember? Did you ever play cards with them?
We played
31 all night.
Oh yeah, and drank. Oh my gosh, I drank, and I used to, for whatever reason, I drank B-52s.
Oh,
they're
excellent.
so good.
Yeah.
There's like the dessert drink.
Yep. That was
that was fun. I used to love the card games.
And
31, I forgot even how to play it.
Oh, me too.
We should get together and play 31 sometime.
I would be a blast, brother. Great seeing you. Take care. Great set. We used to hang out there all the time. They had a great wait staff. They're still good friends. All that whole wait staff is.
Oh.
They hang out every once in a while. And I did not. I just met her. Didn't know her. And then I came back about 6 months, a year later, maybe a year later. And then I forget who I was with. And I was middling, so they got me to middle. And I think it was just when Donna Mary Kay took over.
Oh,
and then I played 31 every night with those guys, but still nothing with my wife. She was there, and I was in a car when they dropped her off, and she fell in the snow. It was like just a big story. And then I came back like another year and a half later, or a year after that, and that's when we started dating, which is crazy. So I'd known her for probably almost 2 years before we started actually dating.
Isn't that amazing?
And I owe it all to you.
Thank you.
Man.
You're welcome.
Thank goodness for you.
It was all part of my plan.
Yeah. Well, you're good. You're solid.
Yeah, I do it in such a way that nobody really sees it. But now that you've revealed that I'm the matchmaker.
That's right. See?
Wow. There's a lot of Kismet stories out there.
Man.
Brian, this has been wonderful.
Thank you so much for having me. And seriously, I maybe I should have been funnier. It was just so. I love speaking to you about all this stuff.
I love it.
There's no punchline here. This guy's really got a problem.
Did you want to be funnier?
No,
I felt like you being you. I feel like your essence is just funny. Don't you feel the lightness?
I feel it's very light.
Yes,
but it's extremely light. But
it's kind of a relief. This is what I like about doing this podcast. It is not about comedy. Mm-hmm. It's just showing. Hey, man, it's just showing that we all have stuff, and then here's how I'm dealing with it. Mm-hmm. And I think, it's kind of a relief not to have to hit a punchline every 15 seconds. We can take a break now and then. Yeah. We don't have to prove ourselves.
And this is how we are normally, by the way.
Yeah.
Like when we get together, these are conversations we have.
We talk for real. And there are certain comics that can't do this. A lot of us can, but then there's those other ones that do have to drop a joke every whatever, and then that gets
you crazy.
It gets a little tiring. Yeah, it does.
And
but
we all had those friends.
They can't help it.
Yeah, well,
they're doing their best.
That's probably why they're where they're at.
I know.
That's
well,
why
there's that too.
Making the big bucks or something. I don't know. Famous writers or whatever they are.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
But this has been great.
Let me know if I can ever help you or get you a resource for anything with codependency.
I appreciate it.
I am certainly not an expert on it. However, I mean, you know how they say we teach best that which we need to learn? So I can offer you some tools if you want any, but it sounds like you've got it figured out.
Well, we're working. Work in progress.
I know self-awareness is like everything. If you're seeing it and you're feeling it and you're like, why am I so drained right now? Oh, yeah, I'm over-functioning in this relationship.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Just start, pulling back and asking for what you need.
Well, I think this is a wonderful thing you're doing. So I just want to get that out before we stop. And I think this is amazing.
Thank you.
I could chat with you for hours. So this is the greatest.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah.
Everybody tune in to Bryan Kellen, BryanKellen.
It's me.
We're going to do a duet on some videos on YouTube's. And whatever you do, keep loving yourself. And keep laughing.
Keep laughing.
Okay, peace out. Thanks for tuning in to Traumedy. I hope this podcast is helping you realize you're not alone. You don't have to go through any of this stuff alone. We've done it. You can do it. If we can get through it, you can get through it. Let me know if you have any insights you'd like to share. You have any questions. Please see the show notes for references to resources for codependency. I want to thank Bryan Kellen for being so authentic and vulnerable. And I want to thank my son, Nathaniel Norton, for helping with the music and for being a wonderful son. Tune in to Traumedy every Tuesday. It's a new episode, Traumedy Tuesdays. Message me on my website, nancynorton.tv, or you can go to the brand new Traumedy Facebook page, Tromedy. You already knew that if you're on a podcast. For God's sakes, you know how to spell Traumedy, Tromedy. Send a message to us there. Let us know how we can help.